Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when we stand at the edge of uncertainty, where the weight of expectations, fears, and self doubt feels unbearable. We try so hard to control everything, to plan, to predict, to force outcomes. But have you ever wondered, what if we let go? What if, instead of fighting the tide, we let the universe think for us? I have learned one thing in life. Sometimes the best way to find yourself is to stop searching so desperately. We believe that if we are not in control, we are lost. But the truth is, control is an illusion. The universe has its own rhythm, and it is always working in our favor, even when we don't understand it. We spend our lives trying to control everything around us: our future, our relationships, our success, even the way people perceive us. We create plans, we set timelines, and we convince ourselves that if we just work hard enough, if we just push a little more, life will unfold exactly as we desire. But the truth is, control is an illusion. The more we try to hold on tightly to life, the more it slips through our fingers like sand. From a young age, we are taught that success comes to those who plan every step, who never take risks without guarantees, who stay within the lines of what is expected. We are told that if we do everything right, life will reward us. But then reality strikes. Things don't always go as planned. Opportunities we work for slip away, relationships we cherish fall apart, and despite our best efforts, life takes an unexpected turn. In those moments, we feel helpless, frustrated, and sometimes even betrayed by life itself. But what if the problem is not life? What if the problem is our constant need to control every aspect of it? The more we resist change, the more we suffer. We fight against the natural flow of life because we believe that we know what is best for us. We get so caught up in our own limited perspective that we fail to see the bigger picture. Sometimes the very things we are clinging to are the things that are holding us back. We try to control relationships, fearing loneliness, when in reality, letting go of toxic people could make space for healthier connections. We hold on to a version of success that was never meant for us, when in reality, a different path could lead to even greater fulfillment. Letting go of control does not mean giving up. It does not mean we stop dreaming or working towards our goals. It means understanding that while we have the power to take action, we do not have the power to control outcomes. It means learning to trust that what is meant for us will find its way, even if the road looks different from what we expected. Think about the moments in your life when things didn't go according to plan, yet somehow they led you to something better. Think about the opportunities that came out of failures, the strength that came out of pain, the wisdom that came out of mistakes. Every time life redirected you, it was not a punishment, it was a lesson, a blessing in disguise. The universe has a way of aligning things in ways we may not understand in the moment, but we must be willing to loosen our grip, to release the fear of the unknown, to stop forcing what is not meant to be. The more we try to manipulate and control every outcome, the more we create resistance, the more we block the natural flow of opportunities and growth. When we finally stop trying to control everything, we open ourselves up to something far greater than we ever imagined. Trusting the process is one of the hardest things to do, especially when life seems to be moving in a direction we never anticipated. We want immediate answers, quick results, and a clear understanding of why things happen the way they do. But life does not operate on our timeline, and the universe does not always reveal its plans right away. There are moments when everything feels like a dead end, when progress seems slow, and when nothing makes sense. In those moments, we question if we are on the right path, if we are making the right choices, and if our efforts will ever lead to something meaningful. It is in these moments of doubt that trust becomes essential. Trusting the process means understanding that every delay, every setback, and every obstacle is part of a greater plan. When things do not go the way we envisioned, it is not a sign to give up. It is a sign to surrender to the journey. Sometimes, What feels like a failure is actually a redirection. Sometimes what seems like a loss is making space for something better. But because we are so focused on what we want, we fail to see what we need. Think about a seed buried in the soil. It spends days, weeks, or even months beneath the surface, unseen and unnoticed. But beneath the soil, it is growing, taking root, and preparing to break through. If someone were to dig it up too soon, thinking nothing was happening, they would destroy the very process necessary for its growth. The same principle applies to life. Just because we do not see immediate results does not mean progress is not happening. Sometimes the most important growth happens beneath the surface where no one can see it. We live in a world that glorifies speed and instant success. We compare our journey to others, feeling frustrated when our progress does not match theirs. But comparison is the thief of joy, and impatience is the enemy of growth. Each person has a different path, a different pace, and a different purpose. What works for one person may not work for another. Trusting the process means embracing our own journey without constantly looking sideways. There will be times when it feels like nothing is working in our favor, times when we have given our best and still feel stuck. But those moments are not indicators of failure. They are tests of faith. They are opportunities to develop patience, resilience, and inner strength. The universe does not operate on our schedule, but it always delivers at the right time. The challenges we face today are shaping us for the blessings that are yet to come. Every hardship, every disappointment, and every delay is serving a purpose. The more we trust, the more we allow life to unfold in its own perfect way. The more we release our need for control, the more we invite the right opportunities, the right people, and the right moments into our lives. Uncertainty is one of the greatest fears we face as human beings. We crave security, predictability, and a sense of control over our future. We want to know that our choices will lead to success, that our efforts will not be wasted, and that the road ahead is free of obstacles. But life does not come with guarantees. No matter how much we plan, no matter how carefully we construct our paths, there will always be moments of uncertainty. These are the moments when we stand at a crossroads, unsure of which direction to take. These are the moments when fear creeps in, whispering doubts, making us question whether we are strong enough, capable enough, or deserving enough. The truth is, uncertainty is not our enemy. It is the space where growth happens, where transformation takes place, where possibilities exist beyond what we can currently see. When we embrace uncertainty, we open ourselves up to new opportunities, new perspectives, and new experiences. It is only when we step into the unknown that we discover what we are truly capable of. If we always stayed within our comfort zones, if we only pursued paths with clear outcomes, we would never grow beyond the limits we have set for ourselves. Think about the most defining moments of your life, the times when you took a risk, when you chose to walk away from something that no longer served you, when you stepped into a new chapter without knowing how it would unfold. Those were the moments that shaped you. Those were the moments that pushed you beyond fear and into strength. If you had waited for certainty, you might still be stuck in the same place, living a life that no longer fulfills you. Uncertainty teaches us to trust ourselves. It forces us to rely on our instincts, to have faith in our own abilities, and to believe that no matter what happens, we will find a way forward. It is easy to trust life when everything is going according to plan, but real strength comes from trusting even when we cannot see the next step. When we embrace uncertainty, we shift our perspective. Instead of seeing it as something to be feared, we see it as an invitation to explore, to learn, and to grow. The greatest stories, the greatest successes, and the greatest adventures have all begun with uncertainty. No one who has ever achieved something extraordinary started with all the answers. They started with a willingness to take the first step, even when the path was unclear. They understood that uncertainty is not a roadblock, it is an open door. Every new beginning is wrapped in uncertainty. Every dream, every goal, every life changing decision comes with risks. But the beauty of life is that it is meant to be lived, not just planned. The more we embrace uncertainty, the more we allow ourselves to experience the fullness of life. It is in the unknown that we find our true power. It is in the unknown that we discover who we are meant to be. Pain is something we all try to avoid. We resist it, we fear it, and we do everything in our power to escape it. We associate pain with suffering, with loss, with moments that break us apart. But what if pain is not meant to destroy us? What if pain is actually shaping us into the person we are meant to be? Every struggle, every heartbreak, and every disappointment carries a lesson. It is through pain that we grow, through hardship that we find our strength, and through adversity that we discover who we truly are. Pain is not a punishment, it is a teacher. It comes into our lives to strip away what no longer serves us, to remove the illusions we cling to, and to reveal the parts of ourselves we never knew existed. When life is easy, we remain in our comfort zones. We do not question, we do not reflect, and we do not push ourselves to evolve. But when pain enters, everything changes. It forces us to look deeper, to confront our fears, to face our own weaknesses. It is in these moments of struggle that we discover our resilience. Think about the times you have faced challenges. The moments when you thought you couldn't go on, when you felt completely lost, when everything seemed to be falling apart, and yet somehow you survived. Somehow you found the strength to get back up. Pain may have broken you, but it also built you. It made you wiser, stronger, and more compassionate. It gave you a perspective that only those who have walked through fire can understand. We often ask, why is this happening to me? But what if we started asking, what is this trying to teach me? Every painful experience carries a lesson. Sometimes pain is teaching us patience. Sometimes it is teaching us detachment. Sometimes it is showing us that we are far stronger than we ever believed. The greatest transformations in life do not come from moments of ease. They come from the moments that challenge us the most. Pain also has a way of redirecting us. When things do not go the way we planned, we feel defeated, but many times the very thing that caused us pain was actually saving us from something that was not meant for us. A rejection that crushed us may have been leading us to something better. A failure that felt unbearable may have been clearing the path for greater success. We cannot always see it in the moment, but when we look back, we realize that every painful experience had a purpose. Pain is temporary, but the growth that comes from it lasts forever. It teaches us to let go of what we cannot control, to surrender to the process, and to trust that even in the darkest moments, something greater is unfolding. The most beautiful souls are not the ones who have never experienced pain, but the ones who have walked through it and emerged stronger. Fear is a powerful force. It whispers in our ears, telling us that we are not good enough, that we will fail, that we should not take risks. It keeps us stuck in the same place, afraid to step outside of what feels safe and familiar. Fear convinces us that we need guarantees, that we must have every answer before we take the next step. But the truth is, nothing in life is guaranteed. The only thing we can truly control is whether we choose to move forward in fear or in faith. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about believing in the unseen, trusting the unknown, and knowing that even when things do not go according to plan, there is still a plan. Faith does not mean that we will never face challenges, but it gives us the strength to face them without breaking. It teaches us that even when we cannot see the entire path, we are still being guided. It reminds us that we do not have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders alone. When we let fear control us, we limit ourselves. We stay in situations that no longer serve us because we are afraid of change. We hold back from chasing our dreams because we are afraid of failure. We do not speak up because we are afraid of rejection. But what we do not realize is that by allowing fear to dictate our lives, we are already losing. We are losing the opportunity to grow, to experience, and to become the person we are meant to be. Faith is what allows us to break free. It is what pushes us to take risks, to step into the unknown, and to trust that no matter what happens, we will be okay. Faith is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It is about knowing that even imperfect moments have purpose. It is about trusting that even when doors close, new ones will open. It is about believing that we are capable, worthy, and strong enough to handle whatever comes our way. There will always be fear. It does not disappear overnight. But every time we choose faith over fear, we take back our power. We stop living in hesitation and start living in possibility. Fear will always give us reasons to stay small, to play it safe, to avoid discomfort. But faith reminds us that we were never meant to live a life of limitation. Think of the people who have achieved great things. They did not do so because they had no fear. They did so because they refused to let fear stop them. They believed in their vision even when no one else did. They kept going even when the path was unclear. They understood that faith is not about waiting for things to be easy. It is about moving forward even when they are not. Faith is the bridge between where we are and where we are meant to be. Growth is a process of transformation, but it only happens when we allow ourselves to let go of what is holding us back. We hold on to expectations, past experiences, and familiar patterns because they feel safe. We resist change because it is uncomfortable. We convince ourselves that we must have everything figured out before we take a step forward. But growth does not come from staying in the same place. It comes from surrendering to the process, embracing the unknown, and allowing life to shape us into who we are meant to be. Surrender is often misunderstood. People think it means giving up, accepting defeat, or losing control. But true surrender is not about weakness. It is about trust. It is about understanding that we do not have to force everything to happen on our terms. It is about knowing that even when life takes unexpected turns, we are still being guided towards something greater. Surrender is an act of faith, a decision to let go of resistance and allow life to unfold as it is meant to. There are moments when we try to control everything, believing that if we just work harder or push more, things will go exactly as planned. But in reality, some things are beyond our control. No matter how much we try to hold on to certain people, opportunities, or situations, if they are not meant for us, they will slip away. The more we resist change, the more we create struggle. The more we cling to what is no longer meant for us, the more we block new possibilities from entering our lives. Think about the times when life forced you to let go. Perhaps it was a dream that didn't come true, a relationship that ended, or a path that suddenly changed. At the time, it may have felt like a loss, like something was being taken from you, but looking back, you may realize that those very moments led you to something better. The things we hold on to out of fear often prevent us from receiving what is truly meant for us. Surrendering to growth means being open to new experiences even when they are unfamiliar. It means allowing ourselves to evolve without needing to have all the answers. It means understanding that discomfort is a necessary part of transformation. Every challenge we face, every setback we experience is an opportunity for growth. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me, we begin to ask, what is this teaching me? When we stop resisting and start trusting, life becomes lighter. We no longer carry the burden of needing to control everything. We begin to move with the flow of life rather than against it. Growth requires us to surrender not just to external circumstances, but to ourselves, to our own potential, our own strength, and our own ability to rise. When we release what no longer serves us, we create space for something greater. We allow ourselves to step into the person we are meant to become.